All right, so this is our Chinese diesel heater. So it all came in a box, and this is custom built.
In pieces.
It came in pieces, right? So this box is not part of it. I think we got this at Harbor Freight for like 40 bucks. I'm sure you could look at other videos. They've done something similar, but not quite like this. So this is great because it's all compact and it's got its own self-combustion. So it's diesel, it's not gas, and you don't have to worry about any of the carbon monoxide or anything else. This is the hose where the hot air comes out. This is the muffler where the actual, the exhaust from the combustion comes out. Here is where the air comes in for the combustion, and this is actually the fresh air. So this fresh air goes in through the motor away from the combustion, and then that comes out, and this is all that comes into the tent, so you're not going to get any of the exhaust in there. This side, I'll show you this diesel can. This is 1.3 gallons, so this didn't actually come with it either. We used it last night just as a test run because we don't want to go out in the dead of winter and not be warm and not have it work, because we're going to dispense cap, so there won't be anything nearby. The way that Shang actually installed this is different than everybody else. Everybody else goes through the bottom. There's a specific way they go. There's 2 different ways you can do it, and that way it leaks. And so this way, nobody could really figure out how to get it inside of the gas can because of the shape. So everyone's like, you can look all over. There's nothing out there that no one knows how to do it. So he made another video showing how he actually installed this one. It's more compact. It's shorter. It's safer. And right here, we actually purchased separately as a quick release. So if you want to use a larger gas can or anything else, you can just pop it off and then you can put another one with a different hose. So it's a little bit easier. The inside is pretty cool. It's easy to open. It's weatherproof. So inside, this is the self-contained combustion compartment. This is where, when one step we need to finish, where this will actually be the electrical. It's gonna come out right around this side, and so it's a quick release. Well, not that quick for me. So that's gonna be on the outside. That's gonna connect to it. So that's the last step. So this is where the fresh air comes in, is through here, out through here. So it looks nice, clean. This is gonna actually be waterproof as well. It's gonna be sealed, so you don't have to worry about that. So it really will be all weatherproof. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna test it out in Mount Charleston tonight. So we'll see how that goes. Easy to carry, yeah. So we just put this actually on the side of the truck. You could put it on the ground. We thought about there's an annex that goes around the bottom, and I'll show that tonight. But you can either put it in there because hot air rises, or we put it up through the window up top, and it just kind of came in. I don't have I'll show the LCD screen later, but that actually has, it measures the temperature inside of the tent. So when you set it to a certain temperature, once it drops below that, this will automatically turn back on. So the only noise you really hear is like this ticking. Like
The gas pump.
and that's from the pump. That's when it's priming the tube. This itself, there's no real noise. It's kind of like a soft blow. So it gets really warm. The speed of the fan is dependent on the temperature. So you have to kind of, it's not that there's no instructions. Literally none. No instructions on how to put it together. No instructions on how to use the LCD. The one we got 2 different kinds. There was a 5-gallon or a 5-watt and a 8-watt, right?
Kilowatt.
Yeah, 5 kilowatt and 8 kilowatt. One of them came with an actual like separate little remote. Not that we need the remote because the LCD, the control is actually inside of the tent with us. And we wanted to test to see if it really worked. So we put it by this when we were first running it, and so we put it like a really hot area, and the rest of the garage was really cold. And so once it hit that temperature, it shuts off. It doesn't shut off completely, but it stops blowing so much hot air. And then when it reaches below, then it just turns turns back on automatically.
Work just like your house.
Yeah. If you had a van, if we had to really live in a van, we'd probably just heat it with that and install it into like the wall and just have that be your temperature control.
It, like literally was like on top of those two circles.
So this is the diesel. So last night we had it we started I think here. Yeah. And then we used it. Now we used a lot because we used it during the day today. But it was about the level right above like these little circles.
Less than a quarter tank.
So it was less than a quarter tank. This is 1.3 gallons. So it used about that much. So not much at all. So you could, with just that. And then I showed in the other video, there's the quick release. So if you do need to use a bigger gas tank.
We have a bigger tank.
We do have a bigger one. You can mount that on the side of the car. You know, people do that. We're gonna mount a couple different things. But with this quick release, you just take it off and you can put it on a much bigger tank. And again, we did it in the way where we put it up top, you know, so in the other larger gas can comes in through the top as well. And other people had it going through the bottom. And with this, we were able to level it out so that the heater, it doesn't tip over. You know, it's not one side is too heavy because it's actually flush with the ground and you can't do it the other way. So the other video that he has, it's going to explain how you get this inside of the gas tank. And it's pretty easy. I figured it out. No one else on the internet apparently could figure it out, but we'll explain it for you so that maybe you can do it. We also build these custom, and if you want one built for yourself, if you don't want to put the whole thing together, you can get in contact and we can make one for you. There's nothing else out there that's like this that's even sold that has the LCD and everything else. This is the LCD. So I had turned it on earlier to try to kind of show it. So this is off, okay? This doesn't matter. It thinks this is the time. But we're going to turn it on, okay? So that's on. You're going to see these two lights are flashing. That means that it's kind of getting ready. You're going to see these bars. That means that if once it reaches full, that's at full capacity. Okay, so this is the fan is going. So if you want to set up and change the temperature, it's right there. There's two different ways to do it. If you want to change it to hertz, which is the same thing. Let's go back.
Speed of the pump.
The speed of the pump. You're going to press OK and the up button at the same time. So that's going to change the speed. So normally this is going to measure the temperature inside the tent. So it's always going to try to get to whatever temperature you set it at. If you change the speed, this is going to be what it runs at all night long. Okay, so that's the slowest. It's going to slowly pump in. When you have it on the temperature, what we figured out is because it's so cold and this, we didn't have a lot of room, you know, we don't have a lot of give on the actual LCD. It's colder over here. So it thinks that it's colder inside, so it'll get real hot in here. So that's how you're gonna do that. If you wanna set a timer, you're gonna use this little sun. That's one timer. If you turn it on, you're gonna say okay, and that's gonna be how long. So say you just want it to run for, you know, it goes up to like 39 hours. It's super long. So this is the hours. So it can set up to go for a long time. But we're gonna say okay, okay, okay. That's the second timer. I'm not sure, we've never used that. I'm not sure what that is. This is if you're gonna set like a password, which we don't need, so we're not gonna set a password. So we're gonna go to the regular screen. Okay, again, temperature, if you wanna change it back, up, and the okay button at the same time. That's the speed of the pump. So every time you're just gonna be pressing up, down. Okay, so you see that these bars are slowly getting up. This means that it's priming, that the diesel is actually running in. So that's how it's working. We ran it all night long. I did another video. It was only this morning after we ran it all night for about 9 hours, maybe longer. It was at 84%. So we're gonna go ahead and turn this off. You'll see that these bars, it's almost all the way full. It's blowing in right now. This is actually where the hot air comes in. This is to make sure it doesn't burn the plastic. You can hear the air blowing. It's not quite hot yet, but it takes a second. It takes a couple minutes for it to turn on and get all the way hot, and then it takes a couple minutes to turn off. in the morning when it's kind of cold, before we get out and we're all naked and gonna get dressed, we turn up the heat and wait for it to heat up the tent a little bit longer. That way it's more comfortable to get dressed and heat it up. So this is at all the way powered. So it's on all the way. So, and then obviously this runs military time. I think it's 1 o'clock. So it's pumping, it's running. So this is the slowest it can go. You can set it to be a lot higher. That's gonna be super toasty. And you're gonna wanna do that if you're camping on the ground and you're next to the cold ass soil. You're gonna wanna have it be a little bit hotter if you're trying to heat, you know, a whole van or whatever. And you can actually set this up, maybe if you're somewhere, to be in the wall, and this can just be your thermostat. This can be the heating system that you use. So it just makes camping more comfortable. It's just a nice way to do it. So you're still out here, you're still with the beautiful, you know, atmosphere and surroundings, and it can be a comfortable place to be. Yeah.
Heater with this?
Yeah, here's the remote control for the heater. Okay, so if you're outside, this is how you can control it. I think I showed this in the other video though, but I gotta go and edit, so I don't know what's gonna show up and what's not. So the ground is kind of cold, but when you have the blanket down here, it was nice for Con to be able to sleep on it. So you see this is, and it'll connect and you can control it from out here. And so it's off. Well, you can set the oil. That's how you're gonna set like the pump and all that. So it connects each time. You can turn it off, you can turn it on with this little remote. It's super amazing. I love all of this.